So ayan good morning. So for last topic, actually this is second to the last topic. Nauna lang talagang i-record yung cables, but so yun, let's try to discuss the friction. So by the way, this is yun nga, last topics na lang siya. So pero mahalaga pa rin siya kasi isa to sa alam mo yun, isa to sa mga topics na talagang pinagtutuunan ng pansin with regards to CFE. Actually, hindi ko matandaan pero at least 2 items atang lumabas dito before. So, let's try. Okay? So, ano ba yung friction? Okay. So, for friction, guys, sige, pakita natin. Basically kasi in face-to-face classes, mas masarap siya i-discuss. Anyway, ito lang naman kasi option natin for this summer. So, yan. Guys, kung ano yung na-observe nyo dito, okay, kung titingnan nyo, sir, naka-stop po yan. Pero, hindi, tama naman, naka-stop yan. Parang picture yan. Pag nakita ng picture na gumagalaw, hindi picture yan. Pero kung papansin nyo kasi, is yung platform niya is naka-incline. So, therefore, dapat yung ating kotse, pag naka-park, ay pagka, kung smooth yung plane natin, dapat aandar yan, tama? At aandar yan papunta doon. Okay? Dapat aandar papunta doon. O siyempre sir nakapreno o siyempre sir naka-handbrake or whatever. Tama naman. Pero kasi okay, bukod sa brakes, okay, siyempre ang brakes talaga, ang pinipigilan niya is yung pag-rotate ng tires mo. Pero yung tires, ano yung pumipigil sa kanya sa pag-usad? Yun guys yung tinatawag natin na frictional force. Okay? Yun guys yung pag-aaral natin ngayon. Ngayon naman, kung mapansin ninyo, eto yung sapatos natin na yan. Bakit yun continuously dumidikit as we walk sa surface, especially sa mga magagaspang na surface. That's because also of the friction. Ito naman, kung mapansin ninyo, okay? Kung mapansin ninyo, eto may laman yan. Ayun, nakalagay yung may beer. Diba? Tapos yung beer na yan, of course, may weight yan papunta dun sa baba. Pero bakit hindi siya dumudulas sa kamay ng lalaki? That's because the contact surface between the hand and the bottle is meron ding nag-a-act na frictional force opposite to the direction of motion. Tapos itong bata na to, di ba? Nakakapit siya dun sa may rock, nag-rock climbing siya. Papansin niyo, hindi siya nahuhulog, and even his feet, okay dito. Okay, hindi nahuhulog kasi nga meron diyan tiny frictional force na nag-act sa contact surface between the hands and the feet and doon sa may rocks na pinagkaakitan ng bata. Okay? So, let's proceed. Think of another scenario where friction is observed. Siguro hindi ko naman marinig yung pagsasabihin nyo na mga examples dyan, but yun nga, mag-isip lang kayo. Tingnan nyo ano pa ba yung mga ibang parts kung kailan yung contact surface is nire-resist yung motion ng isang object natin. Okay? So, yan. So, friction is a force that resists the movement of two contacting surfaces that slide relative to one another. This force always acts tangent to the surface at the points of contact and is directed so as to oppose the possible or existing motion between the surface. So, ibig sabihin guys, diba, by second law of motion, we have force is equal to mass times acceleration, tama? Where force and acceleration is proportional to the direction, the force is proportional to the direction of acceleration, meaning dapat sila ay same direction, tama? Pero papansin niyo, for example, this is push cart. Halimbawa, tao yan, okay, tao yan. Oops, ay, walang leeg ganyan, ayan, nakahawak sa push cart, and then, ayan, sexy. Ngayon, tinutulak ng ganon, okay? Mapapansin nyo guys, parang minsan kapag goma yung gulong nito, lalo kung goma yung gulong niyan, parang feeling nyo bigat-bigat ng dala nyo, especially may laman dito yan, di ba? May mga laman dyan yan, groceries or whatever. Okay? Tapos parang bigat-bigat niya itulak. Okay? That's because guys, merong nagre-resist na frictional force opposite to the direction of motion. Ngayon, kung sobrang smooth ng surface na to, for example, this is a smooth surface. Okay? Yung frictional force, habang nagiging smooth yung surface, unti-unti ang nawawala. Paano yan? Sige, let's proceed. In this section, we will study the effects of dry friction, which is sometimes called as a Coulomb friction since its characteristics were studied extensively by C.A. Coulomb in 1781. Okay, dry friction occurs between the two contacting surface of bodies when there is no lubricating fluid. Okay, let's proceed. Pagka daw walang lubricating fluid or walang pampadulas, meron daw friction na mag-a-act. Okay, so skip ko siguro to, ito na lang siguro. Okay? Wait lang. Ito na lang siguro. Kaya guys, meron tayong friction. It is because yung mga surface natin, meron tayong tiny microscopic na irregularities. Okay? Yung surface natin, for example, ito yung lamesa mo. Sir, niliha ko naman yan. Patag naman yan. Okay? Wala naman ako dyan, sir. Big sabihin, sinasure ko na sobrang smooth ng surface na yan. Guys, pag sinabing tiny microscopic, merong maliliit na ganyan-ganyan yan. Kahit na sinabi mo na naliha mo na yan, okay, since microscopic nga yan, hindi mo yan makikita. Okay? Hindi mo yan makikita. So, tendency niyan, meron yung rough surface, pero hindi lang siya ganun ka-visible. Maliit lang siya. So, as much as gumagaspang yung surface natin, mas lumalakas yung resistance force natin na tinatawag natin bilang frictional force. Okay, skip ko na ulit to. Yun lang naman yun. Basically, that's the concept. Ngayon naman ganito. Dito tayo sa equilibrium concept ng friction. The effects of the distributed normal and frictional loadings is indicated by the resultant N and F on the free body diagram shown. Notice that N acts a distance x to the right of the line of W. Paano ba kasi nangyayari yun? Ngayon, in this case, okay, meron na akong bibigay sa inyong dalawang scenario. Una guys, is yung walang force, so weight lang. Weight lang yung weight lang ang nag-a-act sa kanya. Pag ganyan, 'di ba, sa contacting surface, meron tayong perpendicular na normal force acting sa kanya. Tama. Ibig sabihin, guys, yung concentration ng weight natin is concentrated at this point to the point kung saan siya magre-react yung normal force mo. Kasi ang weight tsaka normal force, most of the time dapat collinear sila in this manner. Ibig sabihin, in this case, dapat nag-act sila sa iisang columns. Sa iisang line of action. Okay, now, paano naman, sir, kapag ganito? Okay, this is case 1, This is case 1. Sa case 2 naman, pagpalagay natin na ganyan, pero meron siyang force P dito. Ito yung weight mo. Okay? Ngayon, in this case, okay, since ang tendency niyan kapag ganyan, hindi ba pag hinila mo yung object mo, ang mangyayari, medyo magtitilt na ganito yan. Let's say, magiging ganyan. Okay, by applied force P, yung weight mo ngayon nandito, pero yung normal force mo, dito na mag-a-act ngayon yan. Okay, dito na mag-a-act ngayon yan. If this is your weight, eto na ngayon yan, hindi na sila pantay. Okay, magkakaroon sila ng distance. Okay, with each other. Tulad ito. Nagkaroon na ng distance yung centroid mo dito kung saan nag-a-act yung weight, but also always the weight acts on the centroid of the body regardless kung ano yung position yan. Yung normal force is hindi. Bago siya, depende kung saan yung magiging contacting surface natin. In this case, guys, pag nag-tilt yung object mo, ito yung magiging contacting surface natin. Diyan ngayon mag-a-act yung normal force. Meron kang x distance from the weight. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung mapapansin nyo, that will be your pivot point. O diyan iikot. Kung nasa yung normal force mo or location ng normal force mo, doon ikaw iikot. Okay? Kung nasaan yung location ng normal force mo, doon yung magiging pivot point mo for moment. Kasi nga, nandun yung bigat, di ba? Okay. Next. Okay. Impending motion. In case where the surface of contact are rather slippery, the frictional force Fs may not be as great enough to balance the P. Pagka daw, guys, ang tag dito, yung contact surface natin are slippery. Pagka sinabing slippery, madulas, yung frictional force natin is sobrang liit. Okay? To the point na hindi na niya kayang pigilan yung force P. Okay? And consequently, the block will tend to slip. Ibig sabihin, aandar na yun. Okay? In other words, as P is slowly increasing, habang tumataas daw si P, okay, F correspondingly increases. Kumbaga, habang tumataas si P, magre-respond si F, si frictional force, hanggang ma-reach niya yung attainable value niya or the maximum frictional force niya. Okay? Pag na-reach na ng object and the contact surface yung maximum frictional force, Okay, at nagdagdag ka pa ng force P, ano mangyayari? Aandar na yung object mo. Okay? Okay, so yung Fs na yun, tinatawag natin the limiting static frictional force. Okay? Paano natin nasosolve yun? By when this value is reached, the block is in unstable equilibrium. Since any further increase in P, sabi nga, will cause the block to move. Experimentally, it has been determined that Fs, or the static frictional force, is directly proportional to the resultant normal force N. Okay, multiplied of course by the coefficient of static friction, mu sub s yon. Pagka guys, coefficient of static friction, yun guys yung maximum static friction na kayang abutin or kayang i-provide ng surface mo to resist the impending motion. Okay? So that's so procedure for analysis, basically dito magre-revolve yung analysis natin. Actually, motion equations of equilibrium lang talaga kailangan natin in solving the friction. Ang problem lang kasi sometimes is that na-omit natin madalas, minsan na-overwhelm tayo for the problems na nakikita natin, kasi isang kita pa lang natin sa problem is medyo mahirap na siyang i-analyze. So let's try to simplify the solving the problems by step-by-step solution. So dun kasi in that way, alam nyo kung paano sisimulan. Ang wag nyo kinakalimutan is of course the free body diagram. Okay? The free body diagram, in free body diagram, we have to draw the necessary free body diagrams, and unless it is stated in the problem that impending motion or slipping occurs, always show the frictional force as shown. Always remember guys that the frictional force is always opposite to the direction of the applied force P. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yung applied force P, yung frictional force natin is dapat opposite to the direction of the applied force P. Okay? Next, procedure for analysis. Take the summation of vertical forces to compute the normal force. So technically, kukumputin lang natin yan. Okay, in this case guys, summation forces ka lang vertical, makukuha mo na si normal force natin. Compute the friction using the formula F is equal to mu Sn yan. Okay, so this is Fs, this is mu S. Tama? Compare the value of the applied force P. Ngayon, sabi dito sa natin, kung yung P daw natin or the applied force P is mas mababa kumpara dun sa frictional force, the object will not move. Totoo naman, di ba sabi natin na ang frictional force ay pumipigil sa force P. May maximum value yon. Ngayon, kung yung nakuha natin na maximum frictional force is greater than the force P na ina-apply, meaning alang galaw. Kumbaga, tumutulak ka lang pero hindi gumagalaw yung object mo kasi nga, pinipigilan siya ng frictional force. Pero pagka guys, na-exceed ng P, or tingin sa letter B, if P exceed the value of the frictional force, the object will move. Tendency nun is gagalaw yung object mo, okay, to the direction kung nasaan yung direction ng force P. Okay? So now, for impending motion, take the summation horizontal forces equal to 0. Pag napatunayan mo guys na meron kang the object will not move at hinahanap natin yung value ng frictional force before siya gumalaw, siyempre before gumalaw, wala pa siyang paggalaw, meaning that P is equal to the frictional force. Okay? So, ibig sabihin daw nun, bago siya gumalaw, is nagtama muna yung value ni force P tsaka ni frictional force. Kasi nag-equal sila. So, wala ka pang paggalaw dun. Pag lumaki lang si P kesa kay frictional force, saka ka lang gagalaw. Ang impending motion, guys, always remember that impending motion is the motion, is yung parang magiging intended motion ng force P mo. So, bago ka pa gumalaw, yun ang impending motion. Impended motion lang. Ibig sabihin, ambang paggalaw. Yun lang in Tagalog yun. So, okay? So, now, to determine if the object will rotate, actually, the frictional force also considers moment. Kasi paano yun? Tulad ng sabi ko sa inyo kanina, pagka nga diba nag-rotate yung object natin, for example, ito yung object mo, force P by force P, diba, iyan natin ng konti. Okay. Wait lang. Iyan natin ng konti. For example, ayan yung ano natin. Di ba nga, ang mangyayari yan, magkakaroon yan, dito yung magiging pivot point yan. Nandiyan yung normal force N natin. At saka dyan tayo magte-take guys ng moment kung ilan ba yung overturning moment na ginagawa or na nai-induce ng mga forces natin. Kasi may weight ka dyan, meron kang P dito. Ito yung pivot point mo, dyan kayo iikot, therefore dyan ka magte-take ng moment. Okay? Okay. To determine if the object will rotate, get the summation of moment equal to the zero at the bottom edges or edges of contact surface. If the normal force is acting on the center, the object will rotate. If the normal force is not acting on the center, tulad na to. Ito yung center mo yun, di ba? Pero nagkaroon ka ng x distance, therefore the normal force is not acting on the center, therefore iikot ka raw. Okay, so for sample problem siguro para mas madali natin maintindihan, so let's proceed.